Quartz Crystals and Celestial Power, created, directed, and presented by Reverend Dr. Dickie Joe Mullen. Crystals have been used in many cultures for healing purposes and are essential parts of our modern technology. In this video, Dr. Mullen focuses on the association between quartz crystals and celestial power, since they are very ancient in their origin.
This is astrologer Dickie Joe with a special look at quartz crystals, the celestial powerhouse, and your horoscope. Crystals profoundly affect today's world. If you're watching on a computer, this little crystal, the quartz crystal, is why you're able to do that. Crystals are charged and have changed our lives. Electronics, computers, almost more than anything else within living memory. What exactly are crystals? Let's go back several thousands of years into the mists of time. There's a ring of sincere acknowledgement about the real powers within these translucent and clear stones. Great early civilizations made references to them. Atlantis and Egypt. Remnants of legends hint that they were once used for heating, cooling, indoor and outdoor lighting. The capstones that have long since disappeared from the great pyramids of Egypt are thought to have been this stone, the quartz crystal. Today they're ground into silicon chips, and looking past the industrial uses, the metaphysical and spiritual community uses crystals all the time for mental and physical healing. There are all sorts of ways to unleash their incredible potentials. Most of us use less than 5% of our brain power, physical power. If we can use crystals correctly, we can amplify those potentials just a little bit and make all the difference within our own lives. Upon acquiring a crystal, it's a good idea to find one that's appealing. They have personalities. Each one is unique. Wash them in salt water. Let them stand for several hours in a sunny window. Hold the crystal in your left hand. That would be the right hand for left-handed people, in your non-dominant or receptive hand. And think about what you're absorbing or feeling from it. Switch the crystal, I happen to be very right-handed, into the right hand in order to project energy out with it. It can be used to enhance strength and to increase both positive or negative output, depending on which way we might lean. Leaving a crystal in a glass of water and then drinking the water, or maybe giving the crystal water to a plant or a favorite animal, can really have an impact on them. Astrologically, birthstones, of course, vary from sign to sign, but I'm speaking about the quartz crystal specifically, and this crystal relates to the planet Saturn specifically. In your own birth chart, look at Saturn's natal position, house, and aspects to see best how to use the quartz crystal. Everybody can do that on a surface level, and just beginning to look at your birth sign and then the house ruled by Saturn in your natal chart will tell you how specifically you can make the best and brightest of these wonderful, wonderful resources. Quartz crystal is formed when it is silicon dioxide, SiO2, those two elements, and heated in a specific way, and it always forms this type of a pattern. And leaving it in its natural form is what I'm talking about today, not, say, using it in a piece of jewelry or, heaven forbid, in a silicone chip, but just in the raw form. Aries people, the quartz crystal will relate to your 10th house of career and visibility. It will enhance your prestige. Taurus people, look at the quartz crystal through the 9th house. Journeys, higher education, travel, protection. Gemini people, the crystals will relate to your 8th house. This is taxes, insurance, investments, partners, finances. And the 8th house is a very broad spectrum house, solving a mystery and connecting with spirit world and the afterlife. Cancer people, the quartz crystal relates to your 7th house. This is marital status, public relations, and skills with legal issues. Leo people, the crystal relates to the 6th house. This is health, a wholesome routine, and interaction with animals. Oh, and this is interesting because also co-workers or subordinates or employees. Leo, your quartz crystal will help you to cope with those qualities or traits in your own world. Virgo, the quartz crystal is your 5th house. Children, romance, planning a vacation, leisure time, sports, and games. Libra people, the quartz affects your 4th house. This is housing, heredity, interaction with parents, and other family dynamics. Scorpio, look at the 3rd house. Converse with others, aiding travel, language skills, variety, persuasive abilities. Sagittarians, the 2nd house, finance, developing better paying job skills, cash flow, earning power, and getting specific possessions you really want, material possessions. Sagittarians, the quartz crystals will help you there. Capricorn, the quartz crystals relate to your 1st house, your ruler and Saturn. Appearance, gaining or losing weight, clothes, confidence, being in the best physical surroundings. Aquarians, the quartz crystals arrive in your 12th house. This accents time spent alone, planning for the long-term future, anything to do with charity work, radiance, and anything to do with advising others, and wild animals and wilderness areas. Pisces people, look at the 11th house. A greater sense of freedom and release, adventure, expansion, offers, groups, politics, and social issues. Thinking of the raw energy, the tremendous potential within these beautiful, unique quartz crystals can do a lot to enhance everything that's positive in your life. A crystal that has a tiny triangle on one of the different sides is called a record keeper, and it particularly represents ancient wisdom. A crystal that has several different crystals attached to it, like this one, is good for anything to do with group dynamics and relationships overall. There are tremendous varieties here within the crystals, and once you look to see which house of your own birth chart relates to them, you can go further. Ghost crystals have tiny crystals hidden within, and they are especially good for entering into and traveling other dimensions, whether through dreams or deep meditations. This is astrologer and parapsychologist Dickie Jo Mullen in Orlando, Florida, with thoughts about crystals and your birth chart.